Tonight, we are combing through new court documents in the Delphi murders case. The 136-page filing outlines what could be the defense team's strategy. Richard Allen is charged with killing Abby Williams and Libby German, but now his attorneys are offering a new theory about what happened that February day back in 2017. Our Emily Longnecker has been poring over those pages for us. Emily?
Well, Jenny, Richard Allen's defense team is alleging that early on, investigators were pursuing the theory that the girls were killed in a pagan ritualistic sacrifice tied to Odinism. The defense says investigators quickly moved on from that theory, claiming a professor from Purdue discredited it. A professor the defense says the lead investigators on the case can, quote, not identify or locate.
According to this court document, Richard Allen's defense attorneys claim there was, quote, an obscene amount of evidence linking Odinism to the crime scene, where the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found. Defense attorneys say an FBI report indicated the same belief. Quote, the FBI cold case unit determined that Odinites were involved in the murders. But Allen's attorneys claim investigators did nothing to investigate the Odinites. According to Allen's defense attorneys, evidence at the crime scene like sticks and branches arranged in symbols around the girls' bodies and another symbol on a tree nearby point to Abby and Libby being sacrificed in, quote, some sort of pagan ritual. The Southern Poverty Law Center investigates hate groups. It says Odinism is a pagan religion with Nordic roots. Believers worship many gods and goddesses. The main deity is the god Odin. Today, the beliefs have become popular with white supremacy groups. According to Allen's attorneys, investigators interviewed several people who allegedly practice Odinism. One of them was the father of a boy Abby Williams knew. In their memo asking the judge for a hearing to consider throwing out the search warrant for Allen's home and the evidence collected because of it, Allen's attorneys say, quote, this point can't be emphasized enough. The Odinite angle was abandoned by March 2017, only a few weeks after the girls were murdered. The reason for this abandonment: a Purdue professor had reached a conclusion concerning Odinism and the crime scene. According to Allen's attorneys, lead investigators indicated different conclusions from the professor to different people. In one instance saying, quote, the professor concluded that it was no Odinism or any type of cult worshiping or any type of a group that would have conducted the crime. But in another instance, that same investigator told a trooper on the case, quote, the results from the Purdue professor were kind of inconclusive. The memo from Allen's attorneys goes on to say, quote, a report may or may not exist that does not rule out Odinism. According to Allen's attorneys, lead investigators on the case, quote, cannot identify the professor and therefore can't locate the professor, and in the end may not ever be able to identify this mystery professor. So what about previously reported allegations that Allen confessed to murdering the girls to his wife while talking to her on the phone from prison? Allen's defense attorneys claim that was under the duress from being, quote, threatened, intimidated, and mentally abused by two prison guards, who Allen's attorneys say are themselves Odinists. The defense attorneys claim in their early visits with Allen, the guards wore patches that look like this. The defense says the interlocking triangles, quote, is a common symbol for those involved in the pagan Odinite religion. According to Allen's attorneys, Allen has never practiced Odinism. Now, we reached out to Purdue University to ask about that professor mentioned in the memo if they were consulted on the Delphi case in relation to the murders being part of a pagan ritual killing. A spokesperson responded with an email saying, quote, regarding your inquiry, we have no knowledge of this. We also reached out to the Carroll County Prosecutor's Office about these issues, but have not heard back. That could well be because the court has ordered all of the parties not to talk about the issues or evidence in this case. Jenny?
Emily, thank you. Now, defense attorneys tell us this document is extraordinary. Shay Hughes is a deputy public defender in Tippecanoe County who is not involved with the Delphi case. As Emily mentioned, Allen's lawyers say their client's so-called confession came under duress. Hughes says this document is clearly an attempt to share Allen's defense with the public.
I think this is kind of their opportunity to rebut that. That essentially there's somebody else out there that committed these allegations.
Now that Allen's defense strategy is out in the open, it'll be up to a judge to decide if important evidence was obtained legally and whether it can be presented to a jury. Of course, we have been following this story since the very beginning, when Abby and Libby disappeared in 2017. You can find a full timeline of this case and all of our past stories right now at WTHR.com/Delphi.